friends, Poetic, playing Subnautica. Setting up your Cyclops. Um, Front compartment, food, water plants, uh, resources in this second area, resources in this third area as well, and a modification station. Um, in the back, I've actually put a bunch of lockers. These are almost all for titanium. I have some for some extra quartz and some extra lithium. But man, you use a lot of titanium in this game. And so these 4 lockers here, I'll basically just fill those up with titanium whenever I build a base. I'll end up using almost all of it. I'll start here from left to right. So tools, some stuff you don't need all the time, like the grav trap or the propulsion cannon. So I'll set those here. I'll also include extra power cells and extra batteries, like this Pathfinder and the laser cutter. I don't use those all the time, so made a wall locker and label it tools. I love that there's more space in these quartz lockers, but you can't label them as a default, which that is a distinct disadvantage. This one I just keep some extra materials in, stuff that I want to offload. This one is an exploration locker, batteries, beacons. These flares, I don't even use these. The light stick, I don't even use that in the game. I'm sure it's helpful in certain situations, but I could probably just dump all that on the bottom of the ocean floor, throw it in a trash can and never miss it. I put a first aid, the medical fabricator, and a regular fabricator right here beside the vehicle console. These I highly recommend. Creating some lockers, I call them offload 1 and offload 2. That's just stuff that I want to drop off at my next base or in my main base. Here, I could have made this a wall locker, but these are all vehicle upgrades. Decoys, which I never even really needed the decoys, to be honest, when dealing with the Leviathans. I found if you just keep powering through an area, yeah, they'll attack you a couple times, but they're very territorial, and so I didn't really need the creature decoys. Didn't really need this decoy tube upgrade. Some of these other things I've used. These are things for the prawn that I haven't really used much, or the sea moth. That's a vehicle locker. This is basically produced items. Everything that's in here I've already fabricated from other resources. Quartz and glass, use a ton of that. The uranite, I actually combined that with the rubies there. Ingots, and well, I used up all my plasteel, but I also kept that in here. Lithium, diamonds. Here I just did copper, gold, and silver. Use those metals a lot. I was surprised how much copper I ended up using in the game. And in the in-game, silver is actually very critical because gold and silver are required to make these guys, the ion batteries. This is lead. Don't use a whole lot of it, but it is critical for certain applications and certain items. And I don't want to give a spoiler alert about those 2 items there. I ran out of room. I threw one for magnetite here, and then ion tablets and ion cubes I kept in here. I really like these wall lockers because you can change the label of the name, but also you can change the color, right? Which is helpful for visual people like me who just want to see at a glance what things are. And basically, I created a locker for every single resource. I know that's a lot of lockers, but I found out that that made me more efficient with my time. Uh, yeah, I'll stop there. Oh, except for this table coral. You don't need a lot of sulfur. I take a couple just in case I drop my repair tool by accident or something. I've never used it for flares, but this table coral, I ended up using a lot of that for chipboards, for fabricators and bases, for advanced wiring, for computer chips. Um, yeah, I tried just compiling materials for a bare minimum base build, but I ended up labeling individual items, individual lockers, one per item, worked out best for me in terms of time. These plants here are decorative. This is a nice little physics glitch right here. You could, in Subnautica, two things can occupy the same place at the same time. So I open this up, it just goes right through that Ming plant, which is just makes me laugh. It's kind of funny. Definitely a modification station on board the Cyclops is helpful because that way you can upgrade your prawn and immediately, boom, put the upgraded module into the prawn. That's it. Food up front, storage materials all the way around. These two offload lockers, medical kit, fabricator. I've got a radio downstairs, but that's not really a big deal. And for me, labeling each locker, putting only one item per locker, yeah, it's a lot more work initially, but in the end, it made me much more efficient. I hope that helps you all with setting up your Cyclops. And yeah,